Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is Carmine Sabia for Explain America, and it is hard to imagine something that would trigger liberals more than President Donald Trump's face on Mount Rushmore. Before we get started, please make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Those little things really help us out, and they help our channel continue to grow. And if you're not watching us on YouTube, please check that address in the lower right-hand corner. It's youtube.com/@ExplainAmerica. When you get there, please hit subscribe, absolutely free. It really helps us out. Guys, Trump's face on Mount Rushmore, do you think it belongs there? That is a debate that we can have, right? But here's one thing that's not debatable. If they put President Donald Trump's face on Mount Rushmore, and I don't know how long something like that would take. I mean, the original Mount Rushmore project took a long time. But adding a face, I don't know how much longer that would take, especially if you put a lot of government resources behind it. Liberal heads would be exploding all over the country. I don't know if it would increase tourism. It probably would increase tourism to Mount Rushmore, which would bring more money, to South Dakota, which would be great. Economically, it's probably a good move. You have so many Trump fans. I could legitimately see that happening. And Trump, let's be honest, he's not a guy with a small ego. I mean, if you want to carve your face into a mountain, you got to have somewhat of an ego. And I believe that our president is okay in that department. The question is really, does it belong on Mount Rushmore? Has he done something that would justify him being on Mount Rushmore? Now, what he's doing to the deficit and, trying to bring it down, and if he were to eliminate income taxes, I mean, yeah, you'd have a parade of people trying to put him on Mount Rushmore. But Laura Trump, she had an interesting conversation with Doug Burgum about this, because he would be the guy in charge of it. And, well, like I say, was an eyebrow-raising answer. I want you to watch this, and I really want you to let me know what you think in the comments.
The Department of Interior is in charge of the National Park Service. The National Park Service is in charge of Mount Rushmore. A lot of people wonder, will we ever see President Trump's face on Mount Rushmore? What do you think?
Well, they certainly have room for it there. They just signed the order last week. On July 3rd, 2026, we're going to have fireworks at Mount Rushmore. And we've got a lot of amazing USA 250 events planned from across the country.
With a massive celebration in store, we asked the secretary to give us a sneak peek.
Well, certainly a priority of President Trump is to make sure we have the appropriate celebration for the most amazing country in the world.
Yeah.
And the National Parks is going to play a key role of that. There are official events that span across the country, but certainly here on July 4th of 2026, it's going to be amazing. It'll be more than a single day, but on that day, for sure, there's going to be an incredible celebration right here.
Well, and I know you mentioned earlier Mount Rushmore may come into play as well. Anything you can tell us? Any hints?
Well, I think it's going to be a great celebration in the Dakotas, and I'll say plural because we got Mount Rushmore in South Dakota. But on July 4th of 2026, the Theodore Roosevelt Presidential Library is having its grand opening outside of Theodore Roosevelt National Park, the only national park of the 64 that's named after a person instead of a place.
Oh, wow.
But how fitting, because Theodore Roosevelt played such a big role in setting aside the public lands and establishing everything. And really, he was a leader in citizenship and conservation and leadership. And I mean, those three things, that's what the library is about: leadership, conservation, and citizenship. But how fitting, because here we have President Trump, who in his time is doing amazing things, just like Theodore Roosevelt did, including the Panama Canal.
Yes, absolutely.